Today's video is for Americans who are saying, get me out of here, even if you can't leave yet or ever. I know that that's a hard place to be. I know there's a lot of you feeling this way. I know this is true because you're on my threads and downloading the Get Me Out of Here flowchart. So there's obviously a lot of interest. There's a lot of people worried and panicking. I am here talking at nervous system speed for you to just help bring down the nerves a little bit and discuss this subject, especially if you can't leave yet or you don't think you can ever leave. I just want to talk about some other options for getting a break. Because if you're saying get me out of here, it's because things don't feel well and because you need a break. So today I want to talk about how leaving doesn't have to be forever in order for it to be worth it. And sometimes all you need is a break. Before we left America, I began increasing my international travel. And it really, really helped a lot. It was like a pressure valve. And even though when I returned, I still felt like stressed by my life and stressed by America, I used to feel underwater in America. So if you're feeling that way, if your nervous system does not feel well there, I get it. And I also am a realist, and I know like not everybody can leave. It's not possible for everybody. And so I really want this channel to discuss some creative living options for you, especially if you feel stuck. So in our case, sometimes the noises in a house with this many people, there's only 4 kids at home now. My oldest moved out. But it's very loud. So I want you to maybe do a thought experiment with me here and consider things like, what do I have available to me? For example, if you are listening to this and you're an American, that likely means that you are a US citizen. And so you have a passport. If you do not have a passport, that's your first order of business. But your passport can take you a lot of places for a little while. And sometimes it can take you places for a long while. There are a couple countries off the top of my head that are on the flowchart. Georgia and Albania both allow US citizens, at least at the time of this recording, so January 2026, to come to their country and stay there for a year just on your passport. No visa needed, no special paperwork. So there are places that will let you come for quite a long time. I have it all broken down on the Get Me Out of Here flowchart that I made. It's just this download that makes it really clear. These are the paths for people who want to go for a long time. These are the paths for people who want to go for a shorter time. There are options listed on the spreadsheet for those of you who know that you can't go for a long time, but maybe you're interested in like taking a break. So that's what I want to suggest to you. There's a lot of places you can go for just sort of a reset. Now, that can be a vacation length situation, but if you are able to work remotely, even for a short time, I know a lot of people don't have permission to work remotely internationally for a long time, but a lot of places are more flexible if you're just like, I'd really like to work abroad for a month or something like that. So it's worth an ask. Or if you take like a sabbatical or something like so. that spreadsheet will give you the kind of information that you need for what countries you can stay in for 90 days or what countries you can stay in for 6 months. So I want you to be thinking in terms of a break and coming up for air. I just want you to think creatively about what's available to you as far as, can I take an extended break somewhere else? A friend who she works from home and she is able to work outside the country because she owns her own business. And so she is able to work remotely from anywhere. She is based in the States, but she's taking a 2-month break here in my town because a friend of mine has left the country for some extended travel and wanted somebody to rent his apartment. My friend had been sort of interested in coming for a little bit of a longer time, and so I connected them, and she's going to come take a break from America and live by the sea in Portugal for a couple of months because she's able to run her business remotely and because she just needed a break from America. There are different ways that you can go about getting a break. And if all you have available to you is more like PTO or just your vacation days, even in that situation, I would use what's available to you. Not only use all of your PTO days, match them with holidays that you're already off, things like that, extending your PTO. But the other thing that I don't think Americans realize is very unique to America is the fact that travel credit cards are barely a thing anywhere else in the whole entire world. So the fact that you live in America and you can apply for American travel credit cards, that's another option that you have available to you for, like, I'm not saying run up a credit card. Okay, so if you're not a credit card user, I'm not talking to you. But I think a lot of us use credit cards, pay it off every month. And in America, there are so many credit cards that give you points from your spending that you can spend on travel. And so I'm mentioning that because I think a lot of Americans don't realize that's very unique. And America is expensive. You're spending a lot of money living there. You may as well be getting like travel points back if you're going to be buying expensive stuff anyway, like just household spending. That's what we did before we moved abroad. We still are able to do that to a point here, but there's a lot more that we have to pay for from our bank account rather than credit card and then pay it back at the end of the month. So the options for using your spending to get points and then getting a break when you have your holidays, that's exactly what we did. My husband was in corporate before we moved abroad, and we couldn't go for a month. I could have with my work, but he couldn't with his work. So we maxed out his vacation days and we took as long of holidays as we were able to take, and we got breaks. And that really, having that to look forward to really helped me. Now, at the time, I felt underwater in America, and it wasn't in the situation that it is now for everyone. It was and has always been unfair to people who are not white. So if you don't believe that, you're not going to like me. So you should probably just and go away. America has always been unfair to people who are not white. So in 2019, Trump was still president. There was still a lot of police violence going on against Black and brown bodies. So for me, it was still quite stressful because I have a multiracial family. So at that time, it wasn't at the fever pitch that it is now. However, it was and has always been unfair unjust, and unequal, depending on who you are and what you look like. So that said, when we were living there in 2019 and before, we took breaks. I felt like I was coming up for air. We used points, travel points from, I started dabbling in them around 2013, but we really started using them a lot in 2016. And so I just want you to know, like, this is a really unique thing that you have available to you as Americans, is to have the credit card travel connection. You can get crazy value from those for plane tickets, for reimbursements on travel expenses, taking care of car rentals, but also car rental insurance. So there's just so much that you can do since you're having to spend money anyway all the time. And especially right now, I know it feels very expensive. So you may as well give it a try. So I have a couple, if you want to know more about that, I have a resource. It's just a free resource about my favorite travel credit cards, and sort of the ones that we use the most and what we use them for. And it has referral links. I honestly don't even know how many points that I get, but I just want to be upfront about that. So that can really help you get started if you haven't dabbled in those before. I just wanted you to be thinking creatively for yourself if you are just really ready to get a break and you don't have the opportunity to move abroad, or you don't feel like that's the right choice for you. I really encourage you to still give yourself a break, give your nervous system a break, come up for air, get out, enjoy the world, and then come back refreshed. So that's what I want to talk about today. So the resources that I have for you available if you're interested are the credit card guide for travel cards that we have used and kept for years and years and years. The Get Me Out of Here flowchart, which helps you see how long, if you're able to take a little bit of a longer break, but not be moving abroad, it shows you how long different countries will allow you to come with your passport. And also, I made a monthly rentals month abroad list. It's just covering Europe and Turkey, but it's month-long rentals during shoulder seasons. So that would be February to April, and then mid-September, late September through November. That's called shoulder season in the travel space. And these rentals are 2 bedrooms, really nice places. They're all rated, I think I did 4.89 stars and up. And it's a month from between 1,000 and 2,000 US dollars. I think some of them are even lower. I looked at one the other day where it was like a month in Turkey on the ocean, like in an oceanside city, for maybe $680. So my mind was blown. Anyway, most of them are between $1,000 and $2,000 a month. And that's an amazing opportunity to, maybe you rent out your house, you put your own house on Airbnb at home, and then you go, whatever. Like, there are different creative ways that you can do to get a break. So I just want to say, if you are really wanting to go, there are some really good resources that I've made to help you get a break from America. So that's what I got for you today. I'd love to see you again next time. Oh, and I almost forgot. Oop, I hope that wasn't really loud for you. I am going to start doing a minute at the end of my videos that I call meditation minute. And it's just beautiful scenes from places that I've been, mostly Portugal, because this is where I live. But I want you to enjoy the scenery here and just take a minute at the end of these videos. Or if you just want to skip straight to meditation minute, be my guest. But I just encourage you to calm your system. It can't hurt you to have just a minute of like breathing and looking at something beautiful, remembering that there is some beauty in the world. So I invite you to catch my meditation minutes at the end of my videos just for fun.